So it comes down to this: South Africa against England, a repeat of the Crunch Pool A fixture. The same venue, the same coaches and practically the same squads, and yet few would bet on it being the same result. A 36-0 drubbing for the English, which at that stage of the tournament made them look as though they might even struggle to make the quarters. Well, since then, they've turned over a new leaf. Developments within Brian Ashton's outfit have seen England catapult themselves into the final, but what's the most important factor? Is it the boot of Johnny Wilkinson? Is it the presence of the old hands from Sydney 4 years ago? Or is it the upsurge in form of the front five? Well, it seems to be a combination of these factors that's been the catalyst in England's turn in form, and it certainly means that although they'll start the final as underdogs, there's a newfound respect amongst Box supporters. However, looking back to September the 15th, who can forget the Springbok fans we bumped into in the wake of the Stade de France debacle?
What is that?
I don't know.
That is England. England's ball against South Africa.
Well, since then, the Bok fans have certainly changed their tune, and when we popped down to Rugby Town on the Trocadero to see what their ex-players and fans were thinking about ahead of the tie, we discovered that they weren't 100% confident.
No, not confident, hoping. Okay. Because you can never underestimate the world champs.
I think the strong point in the South African team is that we've got a good pack of forwards, and we've got some excellent three quarters and a wonderful scrum half who can really put us on the map. So yes, we are very confident and we believe that we can win the game.
Get in the final now. A final is a 50-50 game. Stress, pressure, tension creates a lot of anxiety. It forces errors sometimes. England have got some old experienced hands in their team. We've played in finals, they've won finals, they've been instrumental, and I think England will be quite confident going in. Often wearing the tag of favourites creates even more pressure. South Africa, I think, will be happy with the way they've played in the pool stages. They've come through well, but they look very, very well prepared. They look very ready for the final. They seem to have a relaxed demeanour. All the little things that keep the mental approach fresh going into a big game like the final.
The secret of South Africa is their forwards. They're harder, tougher, faster, and one man, namely Johnny Wilkinson, doesn't make a team, and that's why South Africa will win.
The secret of England is their defence against the South African attack, and they will just defend, and little Johnny will be sitting in the pretty spot, and he'll be in the sweet spot right at the time, and he'll kick that ball and they'll win.
Not with a broken
leg. Like they always do.
not with a broken leg, he won't.
Well, that's the Bok perspective, but for the English one, we stayed down at Rugby Town to have a chat to the last captain to hoist aloft the Webb Ellis Trophy. Of course, I'm talking about England ex-skipper Martin Johnson.
Yeah, I think it's been a funny build-up. If you said to South Africa you're going to play Fiji, Argentina and England in the knockout stages, they wouldn't have believed you at the start of this tournament. But they put Argentina away very comfortably, and maybe Argentina helped their own downfall. But games are one-off in their own right. You've got to start well. What if England get an interception early on? And we get 10-0 up or something like that. So anything can happen. You have to be prepared for that. You have to be able to think on your feet as a team. You have a way that you think it might go and a strategy to try and oppose the opposition's strengths, but often those can go out the window very quickly. So it's just about the team who can handle it on the day, who performs, who's resilient, who can think on their feet and find a way to win. Well, we have a chance to win the final, so we're in it. Right? There's only 2 teams actually get that chance. The key to it, is what's always the key to rugby games, right? We have to put pressure on them. We have to be solid in all our aspects of play, keep our mistake level down, and take our chances. I mean, you've got to be resilient. You've got to be composed, and find a way to do it. There's not one big area of the game that's going to be bigger than any other, unless one team could really exploit that area. I mean, line-outs will be key, scrummaging. But it all adds up. All those little things add up. 1 or 2 turnovers here or there can add up in the course of the whole game. Maybe there'll be a moment where there's one blinding bit of play that takes the difference between the 2 teams. But generally, it's just a consistency. It's not making too many errors. It's finding a way to exploit the opposition and score points.
Well, now we've heard from both camps with a slightly biased point of view. For the neutrals' perspective, we decided to turn to Nobody in particular.
And so one of the things worrying South Africa in the back of their mind will be the fact that they haven't had a really hard game yet. So they've had hard games, but they haven't had a game that they've had to fight for 80 minutes for. And that is a concern coming into the final. And England have had to fight for every game since their opening game. Every game for 80 minutes. And that has given them this hardness in their preparation that'll hold them in good stead on the weekend.
So there we have the opinions of the box, the English and John Eales. We'll be bringing you up to date with all the latest team news and gossip in our next programme on Friday. Until then, I wish you all very good health, or as they say here in France, bonne santé.